Hey guys, Dane here, Adaptive Exercise and Rehab, coming back to you with another video. This one is going to be detailing a new product that we just got into the facility, and it is a pretty incredible piece of equipment that we're really grateful to have right now, and it's called the Rogers Athletic Pendulum MX-4. So the MX-4 is, from my research, one of the last adaptive wheelchair accessible piece of strength equipment that's on the market. We had found this piece of equipment from the Veterans Association when we went and toured it, one of my coworkers a few years ago, and recognized immediately just the utility and adaptability, but also just kind of like the accessibility behind it too. The MX-4 is a pretty incredible piece of equipment too for a lot of different features and functions. Basically what it does, it has 4 different movement patterns that you get to work into. So on one side of the machine there is a lat pull down machine that has a motorized basically cable attachment pulley that is able to travel up and down the bar as needed to be able to help clients or individuals attach hand grips as they need, adjust the weight if they want to, get the right kind of stretch and range of motion that they're needing to. But it just creates a lot of utility and accessibility within the lat pull down exercise, which is really important to be able to get a lot of extension on. The other thing that's pretty cool about the lat pull down portion is it does have a lap bar too, and it basically just basically angles up when you're not using the machine, and then it kicks on down, and then it's a foam pad to be able to make sure that the person's safe and make sure that they're in a good spot to be able to work through it. And the bar does attach to a basically like a lateral support stabilizer, and then those bars have basically additional hand grips that go up and down for individuals to be able to grab onto if they're doing single arm work. So that's one movement pattern. The other ones that we have with this machine are chest press, which is pretty cool too because it's got a nice small chest, or I guess a back support for the machine, and that's also adjustable too. Which means you're able to get a lot of range of motion, really get your shoulder blades pinched back behind your arms, get your shoulders set to be able to do a solid press motion. On top of that, it also does have adjustable handles too that can start out wide and then they can move them in if you're looking for more of a close grip type pressing motion. Again, really functional for our wheelchair users to be able to help with strength output, to be able to do transfers, to help with wheelchair propulsion, activities of daily living, things of the sort like that. Another feature that it has, another exercise rather, is the shoulder press. Very similar to what the chest press is. Basically fall in the exact same position as the chest press, but just move your hands to an overhead pressing motion. And same as the chest press, those bars also move in and out as needed too, so that individuals can do a closer grip or a wider grip for the shoulder press. And then the last, and kind of my opinion, one of the best pieces of, or I guess exercises that this machine does for us is it allows us to do a chest supported row. And it's got a few different hand grips too. So the chest supported row is really important for postural support too. A lot of our clients or a lot of individuals who are wheelchair users are pushing forward, so they're typically always doing this forward motion, which causes their hands to rotate in, more of this hunch posture, kind of rounded kyphotic posture too. So a lot of the postural support muscles that are active are present on a rowing motion too. Another factor behind it too is using that chest support and back support that we had for the chest press and shoulder press. It allows the individual to be able to row into equal and opposite forces so that they're safe and they're able to get a good contraction and kind of a good strength output too. That's again one of the reasons why we purchased this piece of equipment, is the ability for clients to just roll right up to it, get a really solid workout in with 4 different areas and 4 different muscle groups really, and 4 different movement patterns, and it really helps create a lot of efficiency and effectiveness too. Another thing that we really love about it too is that it creates 2 stations for us within a circuit course if we're choosing to use that product for a circuit course. So we can do the chest press, shoulder press, or the chest supported row on one side, and then on the other side we can do the lat pull down, or maybe a tricep exercise, or maybe a bicep exercise, or a horizontal row. Gives us a lot of kind of freedom and flexibility. The benefits behind the MX-4 is they're pretty numerous. You know, all 4 of those movement patterns are very, very effective and very efficient. Also really, really you know, valuable for wheelchair users. But on top of that, it also has a really cool finish to it too. You know, the black finish that it has creates a lot of aesthetically pleasing kind of notes in my mind. And it kind of blends in well with the rest of the gym that we have, with the black forest that we have also. So the upsides, quite frankly, far outweigh the downsides in my perspective too, but going into those downsides, there are a few. So as I mentioned, the lat pull down machine, great piece of equipment, great exercise for wheelchair users to be able to do. The only issue that we ran into is the 300-pound weight stack that was a really huge selling point for us on this machine isn't necessarily a true 300 pounds. The pulley systems, particularly on the lat pull down side of the machine, really start to reduce the amount of weight and the resistance that you're using by a pretty significant fraction. In my guess, the 300 pounds that the machine's able to do at the max level kind of feels closer to 100 pounds on a lat pull down. We've seen some of our clients go up to it and be able to do a lat pull down with 300 pounds with one arm. So quite the ego boost on that, but you know, it's one of those things that we would like to see, maybe a way to retrofit that or kind of adapt it so that we can actually get the full amount of strength output from that. So the cable pulleys on the chest press, shoulder press, and lat, or the chest supported row, are a little more in tune. They are still a little off. I wouldn't say it's anything to the capacity that the lat pull down is, but it is a factor at hand. The second area that we had some challenges and concerns with was the freight, but also the manufacturing process. Manufacturing process, we were given a 16 to 18 week lead window, which is a pretty significant amount of time to be able to get a product. That's because they had to build it in factory. With it being an adaptive piece of equipment, it didn't really have a lot of the pieces that they needed fully accessible for them, so that's why it took them, you know, 4 months roughly. That was within the window that we had been given. It took us an extra 2 months roughly to be able to get the product actually into facility. So that's manufacturing, and then the shipping was the freight rather, was also a different kind of category too. We had to rent a skid loader to be able to assist the freight company with getting the product off of the semi-truck, in addition to be able to get it set in facility too. So the freight complications were pretty challenging to work through, but luckily we have some clients to be able to help out with that. And with it being a 1,700 pound piece of equipment, it's not light by any means too. So that was a factor at hand, but being able to have a skid loader or a forklift helps a lot. And then we also had to get it off of the pallet too, which was a little bit of a challenge. With it being as heavy as it is. But there's kind of some ingenuity that we had, and we were able to make that be successful. And then the last portion that we had some challenges with too is just like being able to get it into the facility. Luckily at Movability we have a really large garage door off to the side here, so we're able to load equipment in and out as needed very easily. For other facilities I would really be conscious and cautious of that. The machine comes fully assembled, so it's, you know, pretty substantially large. Right off the bat, so it's not going to go through doorways, it's not going to go through anything typical, quite frankly, and it's remarkably heavy too. So if you're planning on purchasing one, just please anticipate those factors before you purchase this product, because it is a fantastic piece of equipment too, but just the logistics behind getting it into the facility and the process of being patient for that too was something that we were, you know, kind of unaware of at first. But, you know, outside of the freight, outside of the manufacturing, outside of some of the shipping challenges that we had, we're in love with this product. You know, it's been a really fantastic piece of equipment for our clients to be able to roll right up to, be able to get a really solid workout in, and then be able to go about their way on a really effective basis without having to modify any pieces of equipment. So if anybody has any questions on the MX-4 through Rogers Athletic, please reach out through New Ability. I'd be happy to answer any of your questions, leave a comment. But yeah, we are incredibly happy with this product, and we're excited to see how we're going to be able to use it and adapt it in the future if needed. Thanks, and have a great day. Bye.